1,
2,
3, let's go!
Nurses from the nearby hospital, artists seeking a subject, people of all ages wander among the thousands of blooms, enjoying their beauty. Nearby are tall buildings, busy streets, and the heart of the city, Cathedral Square.
On Tuesday the 22nd of February 2011, a magnitude 6.2 earthquake obliterated the Christchurch region and took the lives of almost 200 people. At the time, I worked here, 439 kilometres away in Wellington. I managed a small car park and sold towels and sheets in a department store. But the earthquake was felt even here. With cracks forming in the stairwells and elevator shafts of the building, it soon had to be shut down and is still unoccupied today. The damage to the city is still obvious, and unsurprisingly, most of the buildings are still unsafe to go in. I think in a strange way the earthquake almost froze the city in time. You can still look into all the old shops and see what was on sale that day or what movies were showing. For almost 100 years, the heart of Christchurch has been the cathedral, and growing up, that's what I always knew it for. But what's left of it is like an eerie reminder of the day the earthquake hit. I remember the town square outside being filled with tourists and loud music. But now it's quiet here. It feels more like a memorial. What I love though is that the people of Christchurch have given it a new life by surrounding it with art and filling it with sculptures. And while graffiti is frowned upon in most places, here it's almost like it's given new life to the abandoned buildings by bringing in bright colours and shapes. And I'm really glad to see the trams are still running. They also now have a thing called Bike Share, which is an app that shows you stations around the city where you can hire bikes and return them to other stations. And if you're there and you're stuck for things to do, there's actually a machine outside the cathedral that gives you suggestions for free. Christchurch is the most community-focused city I've been to in New Zealand. Everyone's willing to help, and almost all of their public spaces are designed to be interactive. The wound left on the city by the earthquake is still obvious, but what the people of Christchurch have done since the earthquake to rebuild the buildings and their communities is amazing. It's just a really cool place. I mean, it's kind of like, from what I can tell anyway, obviously I don't live here, but it's like after the earthquake they just hit all of this free space and they just knuckled down and decided to focus on community. Like, it's just such a community-based city, more so than any other city that I've been in the world. Not that I've been in that many, but there's just art everywhere and I love it. It's all community art and most of it's interactive. That's how cities should be, in my opinion, just saying. I love it here. The next morning we hit the road for Queenstown. Now it's quite a drive, so we decided to take a few stops along the way. Our first stop is Rakaya. Not only does it have a big wheel, but if you're really into salmon, you can always visit Salmon World. Now admittedly I didn't actually go in, because I'm just not that into salmon. But in true Kiwi fashion, you can always stand outside and get a photo next to the giant salmon statue. Take that, Eiffel Tower. After Rakaya, the number one stop I recommend is Fairlie. This little ski town not only has the best names for its shops, vet, food, general, it also has the best damn pies I've ever had in New Zealand. And on a long road trip, and especially during the ski season, this is exactly what you need. After I polished off 2 giant pies and got one for the road, our next port of call is Tekapo.
So if you're looking to experience the beauty without the crowds, it's probably best you get there earlier in the day.
We're at Lake Tekapo, which you can see behind us. Really lucky we got here before anyone else. Absolutely no one else here, just us. And yeah, just us. There's no one else here. It's really nice, tranquil.
Aside from the touristy spots, it's usually a really quiet place. Oh, unless it's like 12 o'clock and then the town just sounds off the alarm for some reason.
Just loving that peace and quiet. The cool, calm serenity of nature. Yep. Nothing but the sound of birds.
The road from here takes us through the beautiful Lindis Pass. Now it's not exactly a stop, but it's worth staying here for a bit just to soak it in. I can only assume it's as good as Salmon World. Now you know you're getting closer to Queenstown when the mountains start to get really big and everything starts to get a little crazy. We arrived in Queenstown at the end of the day, and after such a long drive, decided that it was probably best to just get some good sleep. So we headed down to Lake Hayes to feed the ducks and watch the sun go down. Man, I love this country.